Hi, Shicole. I'm going to start in Noodle Tools, and I noticed that you have two files. You have Afghan Girl and you have Steve McCurry. Go ahead and keep the Afghan Girl because we're just going to go by the name of the photo. For example, here's somebody put photographer and the Afghan Girl, I guess. That was you. So you're actually just going to do Afghan Girl and put what you have already, one source, one card. With this, that's going to make it two sources and two cards. And I suppose, okay, this one also, you need to get rid of Steve McCurry. You need to get rid of the photographer and the Afghan Girl. You only want to keep Afghan Girl, but you want to put the Steve McCurry information in with the Afghan Girl, and you're going to put photographer and the Afghan Girl in there. So if these are three different sources, you already have three different sources. Two of them may be from the same one. I'm not sure. But if you really, I didn't look at the cards yet, but if you have three cards, well, then that all goes into Afghan Girl. So delete this one, but don't delete any of them until you put this one and this one into Afghan Girl. And if you look, see down here, they just put the name of the picture. And here's Afghan Girl. You've actually, yeah, you deleted that, which you need to do, but you need to keep the one up here. You do need to combine this one and this one with this one and just keep that one. Then you'll delete Steve McCurry and you'll delete the photographer. Here's woman falling from the fire, fire escape, Ruby shoots Oswald. So just go by the name of the picture, the photograph. All right, now I want to show you, and I do definitely agree with you. We're going to go over to the Dallas College database, and you're going to go to SIRS researcher. So you're going to go to the S. I'm going to go to the SIRS, and this is what I did. I put both Steve McCurry and Afghan Girl in there, and two really good articles came up that I think will help you complete the rest of what you're doing. Oh, be sure to click out of that, the manage the cookies. Okay, I put Steve McCurry and I put Afghan Girl. Okay, and I went to the search. Now, again, this is in SIRS, and these are both very interesting. This one is about the girl, and it tells more about the girl who's in the photo, which is what you want it to do. And it kind of talks about your context and history also, what was going on then. So he had gone to Pakistan, did all of this. Just kind of go down this way. It talks about what's going on then. So this is a great one, even for your context and history. So you should take this one. Okay. It's actually pretty it's pretty long. And this actually, I guess, came as a result of the photograph. You'll have to read that and see. Now, you'll want to also email it to yourself. Okay, so be sure to put that email in there and then say email. Also, I believe it does put the take the citation and send it to you, but you can also make a copy of it here, go to MLA 9, which is where it actually is in format. It's already defaulted. So just copy that then you could go back over to Noodle Tools and go to your Afghan Girl, which is the one that you're going to keep. And it's not going to let me put in a new source. Yeah. Won't let the teacher do that, which is fine. Okay, but let's pretend that this one is yours. This was the sample one. I'm just doing this to show you how to put your source in. And again, it may not let me do that because I'm the teacher. Okay. Let me try going over to a student account. Kind of don't pay attention to what I'm doing right now because it won't help you, but it'll be a lot easier for you. Okay, I just have to get into the student, which is Jack Flash. Okay, now I'm in the student mode, and let's just say, well, this was actually yours, Shicole Brown. Oh, perfect. So once you put the Steve McCurry one with the Afghan Girl one that you already have, then you'll have Katruzla first, and you'll have McMurray second. Now, we're going to add a new source, the one that I just did. And we're going to go to database. We're going to go to, you could do journal or magazine. I would probably just do magazine. You're going to click on copy and paste. Then you're going to go down here and do Command V or Control V, whatever it wants you to do on your computer. Computers are different. Okay, so see, now we have another one. Now be sure to email that one to yourself so you can read through it. All right, so now we're going to go. It actually says ProQuest on it. Let me go over here. Okay. All right, so that's one of them. That's about the girl. And I got the site here. If you want to just print it, you can do that. And what you can do is save it as a PDF on your own computer. So you could say a life revealed, I think that's what it is. And you could put Afghan Girl, and then wherever you want to put it, if you want to put it in your documents or you want to, well, it should be able to. There. Now I know where to find it. Okay, so you could do that instead of emailing it, but you do need to have the citation. Now let's go to what I had up here earlier, Steve McCurry, Afghan Girl, and this one is really good. I was looking at it. It's newspaper. It's Adventures in World Photography, and when you read it, there is quite a bit of background on him and also about that girl, about the photographs. So anything you can also find out about what is going on at the time that he took the picture will help with the background of him and the girl, and also what's going on at the time in Afghanistan or Pakistan. I know he went to Pakistan, but he took this picture. Obviously, I haven't read the article. So if you want to, you could print this one. And you could not print it, save it, or you could print it. It's up to you. Steve McCurry, life, a photographer, something to that effect. And then you can put that, documents, you can cite it. It's probably easier just to email it to yourself, but just hit copy. Then go back over to Noodle Tools. Okay, and then you're going to go new source. Then you're going to go to database. This time it says it's a newspaper. So we're going to click on newspaper. We're going to click on copy and paste, then Command V. Okay, then save. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's more than sufficient because those last two had a lot of information in it. So let's look at your note cards. Well, oh no, those are mine. I'm sorry. So that's what you're going to want to do. But while I'm here, let me go over your what you've put down on your cards. Okay, so if I go into this one, remember you got to put that in with Afghan Girl. So if I look at that, okay. Now, this has got to be in quotations. That should be a quote. So what you're going to do, oh, it won't let me put a quotation mark there like you've got down there. I would, in paraphrasing, you kind of turn some of this wording around. He was born in Philadelphia and grew up in Philadelphia, the youngest of three children. Okay, who lived, barely graduated. Okay. You could put before becoming a famous photographer, McCurry, I'd start kind of down here, was a mailroom. Well, it's not a representative. I would say before he became famous, he worked at a mailroom. At a big drug company. Um, Seeing all the international letters, he was intrigued by everything that was going on in the world. And then you could go backwards and get some of this in, but you have to do it in your own words. And then the so what is this is a great example of a person who or his story is a great example of someone who started out in a menial MENIAL, in other words, not very important job, and became inspired by things he saw on it and decided to travel and then talk a little bit more about that. So it's a lesson for all of us that you may not start out as an executive or a Pulitzer winning photographer. You got to start somewhere. And it's where he was able to, even though people wouldn't have called his job exciting or anything like that, he found it interesting because of places all over the world that he hadn't heard of, that he would love to know more about. And so photography ends up being his way of doing that. So that's a lesson for all of us. So I would work on that. And that paraphrasing assignment that I gave y'all, that is really, I'm going to get y'all to do that for sure next week so you can go back and do some of this over again. I'm not so concerned about this. I probably wouldn't have quoted that much, but that's okay because that gives you a lot that you have to paraphrase. Um, okay, let's go back up to note cards and let's go back up to your inbox. So that is that one. And you're going to put that card and you're going to put that source here. You may have to copy them. I'm not sure. You may have to copy the things off of the card and put it on a new card in the Afghan one. Let's look at Afghan Girl and let's look at your card there. Okay, I wouldn't say we. You still need to put it in third person. If this is written by McCurry, then you would say, yeah, that okay. You're going to say, after he photographed Sherbat, I guess, um, Steve McCurry kept in touch with her and trying to lend moral and physical support to her. Um, he even said that if he had the chance to do it again, he would photograph her. He just wants to make sure that she has a happy life where she doesn't fear for her safety. Something like that would be it. Um, yeah, I like that. That's a so what. That's why that's important. So good. Keep that one there. And then let's go down to the last one. Okay, and we've gone over here. Cruise images. Okay, in addition. Okay, and just make sure you're putting that in different ways. But let me go back up here because each one of these, I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to play like, well, actually, I am going to play like it said. I'm going to go back to student, like I'm you. I'm going to go back up to this one that we were kind of playing around with here. Okay, so this, once you have it under Afghan girl, you will have all 5 of these sources. And so let's go to, let's see. Oh, you should have 3 piles: photographer, photograph, context, location. So let's say that you, and that first card that I read that was so long, you could split that into 2 actually. But everything you write about Steve McCurry, his life, his photographs, his prizes, all of those things that he got, put that under photographer. Now, this is where you're going to put everything about Sharbat or Sharp. I don't know where the accent goes, but anyway, you're going to put all of her information there. And while you're reading on these 2, you'll find out about the context and location, which is just asking you at the time that Steve McCurry took this photograph, what was going on in Shabbat's country. Okay. Or if he took it somewhere other than in her country, and I don't think he did, but if he did, what was going on? Give it some, give background to the picture itself. Yes, you do need to put the little girl or the 17-year-old girl information about her for sure. But tell me what was going on in her country. Were they at war? Were they at peace? Were they all at war and peace? Like turning it on a light switch, to make the room light and dark. It was, they never knew when they were going to get hit. So do make those. And I think I showed you, but I'm not sure. Let's play like that there is no, I don't think it'll let me take that out. You're going to have to make a card first, which is great because you've got one for photographer. So click on the pile of books and you're going to say photographer. But you have to make a note card with the 3 sections first. Then you're going to say create and add. Okay, so it is asking me, what are you doing? Okay, let me go. It may have put it back here, but it did not. Let me look over here. Okay, so what you're doing is you're going add. No. Let me go back over here. Add to pile. I'm going to give it a different name because it won't make a new one with the same name. Okay, now I'm going to create and add everything under photo. Okay, I'll just merge it. Okay, so go like that. Well, it just said put it in there. Let's go over to this one. Okay, right click. Don't right click. Go to the pile, add the pile. In other words, you're making a cover card. You're a pile card for this. And I'm going to say, oh yeah, it didn't want me to put photo over there because that was photographer. I'm going to say faux because I need to give it another name. Okay, so I come over here and I do faux and I put the photograph under there. And for some reason, it just took it. Same here. I would do that, click on the card already made. I would click on that and I would say context just to show you what it does. Okay, and then it says create it. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Error pile, say context. Create and add. Okay. Let me take all of these out. I guess once I've done it, it won't let me do it again. I'm so sorry. So anyway, you go to the card that you actually did. All right. And then you go over here, or oh, it's because I don't know if it's not good to do that until you complete it or not. I thought you could, but um okay, here's my photo. So really that's the same thing as saying photograph. And if I click up here, it'll show me what's under it. Okay. So just only have, I'm going to get rid of this. I want to see if it'll let me do that. Okay. But have one that says context, location, and have one that says photograph, and have one that says photographer, which I just knocked that one out. No, I'll just delete it. Okay, have one that says photographer. Okay, and then I'm going to just put everything back under that. I'm gonna get rid of this one also. I really, it was in good shape. I just messed it up. Sorry. Delete. Okay. All right. So this is what, okay, this one actually should be, and I just messed it up big time. This one should actually say photographer. No, I don't want to. So I can go back and redo that. And then it'll show you next to the orange, it'll show you how many cards are behind it. Okay. So have context, photograph, and location. Oh, I don't know why I just did that. Okay. Photographer. That one should say photographer. You name it. Okay, so these are the three piles, and then you stick all of them under those so that when I check your Afghan Girl project, what I'll do is I'll click on these and it'll show up in a detailed view so I can look and see what you've done. And see this one, remember this one's mine. So I don't have the paraphrase and I don't have the my own idea, but that's how I'm going to look at them. So hopefully that will help. Let me know if you have any more questions. And Anyway, so far it's looking good. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
That's really scary, people.